Well, hello everyone. In this video I'm gonna download GNS3 and install it, and then install Secure CRT and make it my default console or terminal program. The quickest way to find GNS3 is to Google it, and then click on the download link and download the latest version. Now to install it, double click it, click yes, and then you may take all the defaults or change them as you see fit. I'm not going to install it because I already did. So once you finish installing, you'll get an icon on your desktop. It says GNS3, and the default location is under C program. I'm running the 64-bit version of Windows 7, so GNS3 is a 32-bit application, so it'll be under the folder called Program Files 86, whereas 64-bit programs get installed in the Program Files. So if we go down here, we'll have GNS3, and this is the default install. Now I haven't opened it up yet. A couple of things that I need to mention is that when you first install GNS3, you're not going to have any iOSs for running your routers. Another thing to notice is that by default, PuTTY comes with the latest version of GNS3. Now, if you want to use, I'm going to show you how to use Secure CRT, which is not included. That's payware, and PuTTY is a free program. If you have Secure CRT, which I do, I'll show you how to do that. Now you also need a BBS script to run Secure CRT, and I wanted to point out that that file is part of the latest version of GNS3, so you don't need to go get that somewhere else. That file, that is, it already comes with the installation. Let's open up GNS3. So I double click on the icon, and first time you open it, you will be presented with this step 1, which says configure and test the path to Dynamips. Also check that the network directory is valid. And number 2, step 2 is add one or more uncompressed iOS images. As I was mentioned before, you need to add iOSs for your routers in order to use them. All right, step number 1, I'm going to click on it, and you get presented with these choices. I will take all the defaults. You may change the paths as to where you want your project directories to be, and image directory and whatnot. Then you get to choose your terminal settings. By default, your default terminal is PuTTY. As you can see here, it's already pre-configured. Let's see, for Dynamips, I'm going to take the defaults here. I'm going to click test, and Windows Firewall comes up. You need to allow access for it to work. So I'm going to click OK or allow, and then I get a Dynamips successfully started. So that's good. It means it's going to work. Capture, it's up to you. You may take the defaults. I will, or change them if you need to. Now for Camu or Cumu, not sure how it's pronounced, but I will be coming back here to install an image for a PIX. I will do that later, not right now. Going back to the general, I will come back here. I said I will take the defaults, but I'm not. I'm going to change the image directory, and I'll show you what I mean shortly. For now, I'm going to click OK. Now step number 2 says add one or more compressed iOS images. I don't have any yet, so I'm not going to do that just yet. So I'm going to click OK, and as you can imagine, I cannot use any routers yet since I don't have any images, but that comes next. Alright, the choices I was presented when I opened the GNS3 for the first time will not be presented again, but I'll show you how to get to that. You will go to Edit, and if you want to change any of the settings here, you choose preferences, and as you can see, you have the same choices here, and you can come and make changes later. For the iOS's, it's also under Edit, and it's under iOS Images and Hypervisors. Now let me show you something here. Under the default settings I said I was going to take, the image directory, as you can see, is under App Data, Local, and then Temp. And all that means is when you come here to select an iOS image and you click under Image File, you click here, it takes you to that directory you've selected under Preferences. Alright, let me close this. I'm not going to be using this directory. I'm going to be adding some iOS images to the same directory where GNS3 was installed. Alright, as I said, I have already a folder that I've named Cisco iOS, and I have iOSs for the routers I'm going to be using. I have one for the 1700s and 2600, 2691, 3640, 3660, and 7200, and also for a PIX. So I already have those images, and I'm going to copy this entire folder under my GNS install. Remember, that was under C. Program Files 86 for 64-bit install of Windows 7 or Vista, and then under GNS3. What I'll do is I'll copy this iOS's folder in here. Now I have a path for my my iOSs, so I'm going to open up that folder. This is where all my iOSs are going to be. I'm going to click on the address bar and then right click it and copy it. I could have done Control C, but just to show you. And then I'm going to come back to GNS3. Also notice that here I have a secure CRT portable, and I will install that later. I'll show you how to use that as your default terminal. Let me minimize this, and as you can see here, I could add images right now since I've already put a folder with all my images. But I'm going to change the default and the preferences. Remember the default image directory, I'm going to change it to be where I have it, where I have my images, which is Program Files 86 GNS3 Cisco iOSs. So I'll apply and click OK to that, and let's add some images. Go back to Edit, iOS Images. Now when I click that, it goes directly to the folder where the images are. I'm going to start adding a 1700, and select this for 1700, give it default RAM and save it. Let's add another one for a 2600. Now I have one for 1710 and a 2621. Let's add yet another one, a 2691, and I'll take the default RAM of 128. Click Save. Let's add another one, 3640, 128 megs. That's fine. Save. Let's add them all. 7200, 256 megs of RAM. That's fine. As you can see, I left the checkbox checked to make that the default image for the platform. Later you may have more than one image, and then you may want to choose one or another one to be your default image for that platform. So now that I've saved all these images, the different iOSs for different types of routers, I'm able to use the routers.